Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, your technically unsavvy X7 who can't figure out how to embiggen a picture these days, so you're going to have to deal with some smaller ones because I'm on location. I've traveled down to the south of Colorado to the springs therein, and I forgot the mouse, and I'm really bad at using a touchscreen keypad. So we're just going to have to deal with what we have now. But today we're going to finish up our discussion about Batman Caped Crusader and the last, mostly the last episode because that's what I just watched last night. But I do have there's just some interesting thoughts. I think they're interesting. But before we get too much more into it, please like, share, subscribe, vote in the poll, and if you're watching or listening on whatever platform you prefer, please watch a couple extra minutes, a little bit longer than what you normally would. The algorithm really appreciates it, and so do we. So, Batman, Caped Crusader. I think we last left off, I don't know, 4 or 5 ish, episode 4 or 5, and I was all, been there, done that. But I watched the rest of it, and it did get my attention, which is good because I thought it's really hard to go through Batman again because we've seen it. Everyone knows the origin of Batman. It's not like this is something new or surprising to anybody. It just isn't. We've seen it from the 40s on, in serials and cartoons and live action and cartoons, comic books, just anything. Radio, probably, maybe not. Be that as it may, this was the darker, edgier Dark Knight, which did have plenty of humor in it. Fortunately, thank you, Bruce Timm, that it's not dark and dreary like a certain trilogy we could mention, but we won't. Let's see. Harlequin was very well handled. I liked the way they did that. And who knows what'll happen there, but we'll get into that a little further. So I wish I could figure out how to embiggen the. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. Come back here. I don't know if you saw that, but I just wish that there's got to be a way to do this. I just don't know how. Nope. Hey, look at that. There we go. All right. So, this is touch sensitive. I do think that the actor playing Batman or Bruce Wayne / Batman did a great job, even though it was hard not to compare him to Kevin here. And, obviously you just can't. I mean, he cast such a long shadow because he was so great and he was such the voice of Batman that he would often do the role even when nobody else from previous projects were in it. Like in Justice League Action. He's the voice that makes Batman, even though he looks a little goofier, still very serious. And yet he definitely has a sense of humor. So this Batman really didn't, but he did grow toward the end there, which was a nice thing to see. I didn't know who Nocturna was or her brother. Again, I think it was Nocturna. And then Harvey, of course, it just, look at how exciting that is. That really looks like he's punching the Joker right there, doesn't it? And we'll get on to that in a moment. There was no Batplane. The Batmobile was kind of bland. It sounded like, the standard Batmobile, but it had exhaust pipes, and instead of atomic turbines, there was no Robin, which may or may, there were 3 Robins in one of the episodes. Dickie, Jason, Carrie, and maybe Steffi was one. There might have been 4. I'm unfamiliar with the last one. There were two girls and 2 boys, and all were wearing corresponding colors. And Carrie, of course, had her slingshot. We all, all of us who knew, right? That was a good episode, though. I mean, it was a lighter one. The kids were fun, and they were, But our main bad guy, the big bad, was Rupert Thorne, and he's still around. And so who knows what'll happen there? Let's go here. Clicky. I just had to assemble some pictures here. I just didn't have time. Like I said, I'm on location. I was going to do the Dinosaur Resource Center Museum. I have thoughts about that, but I'm going to wait for that till Saturday once I'm back home. That's in Fossil Bed. But it was a fun day. Lots of dinosaurs, lots of fun stuff. And Batman. Yes, Batman does have a dinosaur in his Batcave, as we know, along with a giant penny, to quote Ben Grimm, his idea of small change. The New Adventures of Batman and Robin is 15 exciting chapters. And Batman has meant big business since 1939. That's nearly 80 years. We will be having a Batman oriented set of books, issues at that point in time. In 4 years, should be able to finish them up by then. Here's just a panel I really like because he's a little salty about a certain web spinning Peter come lately. Way to passively aggressive knock your competition there, DC. I believe that's the new look Batman. Yep, here's more from. Oops, let's go back. Scroll. I only have 13 pictures. There's more. There's the first series of Batman cartoons from Filmation, out on Blu-ray now. I wish they'd put the Superman out. And Superboy, just do it. Just do it, DC, and pay the heirs. Okay. We're supposed to be talking about Batman, the Caped Crusader. So we get to that final episode, and we've got our heroes, including Bruce, sort of, teaming up to save Harvey from Rupert Thorne. And spoiler alert, they don't. Harvey sacrifices himself, which is a much, much better end than it would have been to have him. I mean, obviously he's got some dissociative personality disorder, but we all knew that. Everyone knows that about Harvey Dent. Would have been nice if he would have been dating Pamela Isley, but, that might have been too in or too cutesy. There were lots of cutesy stuff in here, but for us fans, I shouldn't say cutesy, but you know what they call Easter eggs or little in jokes. But it was a good show. I mean, that last episode got me vested, even though I knew in my core what would happen. Oops. Well, we're going to see. That's a very different Bat outfit, isn't it? But very close. Anyway, long story short, this is our final. Well, it's not the final thing. It's the final Bat we'll see here. And is there anything scarier than Batman holding a gun and pointing it at someone? I mean, if you pushed him that far to use it, and I don't know who it was at. It was Bullock, maybe. One of the bad cops, Flass or Bullock. They didn't get to, they made Jim Corrigan a bad cop, which, hopefully he has to atone for that. That would be a good reason for him to have to atone, wouldn't it? But Batman doesn't shoot. Well, let's just say Bullock because I don't remember. Just has a really nice grouping around his head. He probably leaves him deaf, though. He let two guys stab each other or something earlier. But I guess that was on them and not on him. Anyway, I liked it. 10 episodes. The only thing I really didn't like, and we all saw coming, was the advent of the Joker. Come on, you didn't even have to show him. You could have just heard him saying something. He doesn't sound he sounds maniacal, but, it's hard to top. Once again, Mark Hamill casts a long shadow as the Joker, and what are you going to do? I'll tell you, you'll do nothing is what you'll do because you can't. You just have to go and do. There have been plenty of other Batman voice actors that have done Batman since Kevin Conroy and since Mark Hamill, but I just miss there had to be. Obviously, it couldn't be. Batman wouldn't be shooting at people like this in a kid's car, on a weekday afternoon cartoon, but fun. There can be fun in these. Comic books are supposed to be fun and provide escapism, not be dark and gritty and realistic. But I liked it. I did like it. I would not want a steady diet of it, and it really just makes me want to watch the animated series. But as I've said, if you start watching Batman, you have to watch Superman, and then you have to watch the Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited, and you may have to actually watch. There's all sorts of things that interconnect there. I don't think Teen Titans does, but we know Batman Beyond does. So it's a hefty time commitment there, and it's the end of the year, and we've got things coming up, things to do. So I hope you've enjoyed your hummus of perfection. One other thing your humble agent forgot to bring down with him. It was an odd day. Be that as it may, we're going to see a Special Agent Dumbass tomorrow. And then I don't know what we'll do after that. But your humble agent is hungry, and he's going to go out and have a look for a bite to eat and then return. He may or may not get food to go because he's tired. But until our next assignment, agents. Oops, dang nabbit. I did it again. I don't know how I did that. This is, that's the one. Come back here. I need this. Just for a moment. Hopefully you can't see that. Once again, until our next assignment, this is your humble agent, X7, signing off.